Hey friends, Tanette here. So, want to talk about Bernie Sanders again, and MMT again, and even a little Andrew Yang. And seems to be a really huge battle between the progressives who are for a federal job guarantee and people that are feeling connected with Andrew Yang and his UBI. And as an MMTer, the federal job guarantee is always the first program that is recommended in to help society and to start the base of our economy off strong. So the way that a federal job guarantee works is that you would hire anybody that's looking for work in whatever skill level they're at. It doesn't matter if they're trained or not trained. You would take them in and you will find a job that's suited to them, and that job will do something in our economy that benefits society, and it would pay a living wage so that this person can live a decent life with benefits and such. The idea being that a federal job guarantee will utilize our citizens' labor to benefit the nation, to do things that need to be done, and lift up people who, for whatever reason, cannot find work in the private sector. Sometimes the private sector is booming and there's all kinds of work. Sometimes the private sector is not booming and there is not all kinds of work. So a federal job guarantee will help our economy as a whole ride out those good and bad times. It also will help with people with not such a good background. Someone that maybe is a criminal coming back out into the workforce, maybe doesn't have the skills and also has this label of, felon on their record. And so when they're trying to get a job, it's going to be very difficult for them to find meaningful work most of the time. So there's always the, exception to the rule. Somebody, comes out of jail and turns their life around and finds some company on their own and stuff like that. There's always going to be those stories. But a federal job guarantee basically says that we're not going to allow our citizens to go hungry due to a lack of a job. So that's the first program that should be implemented as far as helping people out of helping them when they don't have a job. So especially, Andrew Yang talks a lot about, how automation has taken a lot of jobs, which it has. Global trade has taken a lot of jobs. Technology has taken a lot of jobs. And so the future is going to have to be more service, human-based as far as jobs go. Even the jobs of today where you have doctors that are paid very well, and even lawyers. I mean, there's going to be a point in time when there's going to be an app built, and it's probably already in the process of being built, that is going to be a automated lawyer. This is going to be a computerized, generated lawyer that's going to take a look at what your circumstance is, and it's going to be able to read all of the case laws and see all of the findings, and it's going to be able to put forth the best argument possible, because it's going to be able to go back and forth, and without bias determine what the best option is for the client. that's coming. There's also the robotics that are happening with surgery, where, there's going to be surgeries where and it's already happening, where the doctor isn't actually doing the surgery. These are robotic arms that are doing this detailed work. Robots don't get tired. They don't get fatigued. They are not human, and so their accuracy is going to be a lot higher. So, the idea that it's only call center jobs that are going away, and retail jobs because of Amazon that are going away, and soon to be truck driver jobs because of because of automated semi trucks being built, and so on and so forth. Technology is always changing, and there's always going to be a loss of jobs due to technology and efficiency. And so, a federal job guarantee is kind of a cool thing, because it's a place where you can go and do something that is meaningful. Now, also, just like a federal job guarantee, jobs like teachers, teachers can get paid more, and we can have more teachers with fewer students, and that could be a job creator. We could pass laws that say we don't want to have more than 10 students to a teacher, right? And so that means we need more teachers. Just like passing Medicare for all is going to increase the need for doctors and dentists and clinics and hospitals and so on and so forth, because so many millions of people don't go to the doctor because they can't afford it. So of course when when Medicare for all passes, there's going to be an influx of people that go, and that's part of the reason why it's a staggered plan over 4 years, bringing in groups of people to try to mitigate that influx, to try to be able to address it. But we still are going to need to address the shortage of clinics and doctors and dentists and nurses and all of those types of positions. And so those jobs can be paid very well. And of course, we can offer free college and free training for all the jobs that are important to our nation. So even if we didn't want to offer free college to all, which I think we should, but we could start off with saying, okay, we'll offer free college for anybody in the medical profession. We'll offer free college for anybody in the dental profession. We'll offer free college for anybody in the engineering profession or whatever. They could go that route. Personally, I think that it needs to just be free college and or trade school, because we need to keep training our electricians and our plumbers and our HVAC people and our welders and all of these different trades that are require skilled labor. We need those people, and those are important jobs, and so we need to keep pushing those lines of work as well. But the argument against the UBI, and some people try to claim that a UBI would cause inflation, and that's just not true. It's so not true. The UBI that Andrew Yang is promoting is supposed to be offset mostly by tax, and then so if the output of the dollars is then recaptured in a way of taxes, and there's not even any net new money. But if it wasn't captured by taxes, the new money is going to trickle up, like he says, and those dollars are going to end up in the 1% hands. And so we can safely say that if there was any issue with inflation, which there wouldn't be, but if there was, the people that are going to end up with those dollars are going to be the 1%, the same people that are ending up with them today. Very strange how that works, right? I mean, they own all the means of production. They own the factories. They own the corporations. They own all the stocks and bonds and everything. So, putting $1,000 a month in the hands of every citizen is not going to create inflation. I mean, you're looking at basically about a $5 an hour pay raise, right? It's just, how fast money goes. Maybe these people will eat a little better. Maybe they'll eat a little more fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables. Maybe these people will actually be able to get out of credit card debt. I mean, we have such a massive amount of credit card debt and massive amounts of medical debt and massive amounts of student debt that, it will take years and years and years and years for the 99% to get out of debt. We have an unimaginable amount of mortgage debt. So it used to be, our parents paid off their homes in like 10 years. So that's another part of debt that the 99% have hanging over their head. So maybe that $1,000 a month will let them pay off their home sooner, right? That isn't going to cause inflation in the freaking economy. Paying off credit card debt isn't going to cause inflation in the economy. Buying some more fruits and vegetables ain't going to cause inflation in the economy. Going on a vacation that you haven't ever been able to go on isn't going to cause inflation in the economy. Buying a car, a nicer car than the beater you're driving, isn't going to cause inflation in the economy. All of that spending is going to be job creation, like Andrew Yang says. The real problem with Andrew Yang's proposal is that it is dirty and underhanded because it doesn't help the poor. You're gonna give $1,000 to people that already have jobs, and you're gonna give $1,000 to the rich, right? Everybody gets it. Except you're gonna make a caveat for the poor. You're gonna make a caveat for those who are down on their luck, who are collecting food stamps, who don't have a job, that are on assistant housing for whatever reason. And you're going to say, well, you can have what you have, or you can have the $1,000, but you can't have both. So while it's going to improve every person's financial situation, it's not going to improve the financial situation of the people that need it the most. That is the outrage that I have in it. It is simply cruel. It is absolutely cruel. The UBI should not be taking place of any safety nets that are already in place. Same with Social Security. Those people, they're Social Security recipients that are living on like $12,000 a year. They need that extra $1,000. Give it to those people as well. You give it to every single citizen. Period. And you don't have any caveats. And then you can say that you're helping America. Because if you're gonna just harm the lowest people that are struggling the most, the ones that are most impoverished, and you're going to say, well, you can give up your $12,000 a year Social Security and you can have your UBI $12,000 security, but everybody else is going to get a $12,000 a year bump. How is that? That is just wacky. It's not wacky. It's rude. It's obnoxious. It's not right. That's why Andrew Yang, if he really, really, really is a good person, he will change that. Federal job guarantee needs to be implemented first, though, because we want people to work. We want things to get done. That's the whole reason for capitalism, is for people to be enticed to earn money. So, those are my 2 cents. On the Bernie front, so glad that he's okay. So sad that his daughter-in-law passed away unexpectedly. Bernie is our once-in-a-lifetime chance for a candidate that is going to go the extra mile for the people. He has the grassroots organization to bring about all the plans that he talks about. He has the most donations. He has the most donors. He has the biggest amount of volunteers, and his following and the movement is just growing bigger and bigger and bigger. He is best poised to beat Trump. He actually brings in independents and Republicans that Elizabeth Warren couldn't. And we all know that Joe Biden is a, dead duck. He can't make it. He's not going to make it. He's not the right person for the job. So, as always, I am fully 110% behind Bernie Sanders. I think that any citizen would have to be a fool not to support him. He's good for business. He's good for the citizen. He's good for middle class, working class, professional class. Only the billionaire class is going to have to pay more in taxes, and the billionaires, if you're a billionaire and you got to pay more in taxes, and at the end of the day you're still a billionaire, I think you're doing okay. So have a good night, everybody. Just remember that spending into the economy does not need to be offset by taxes, and Congress authorizing the spending for the good, the public purpose of society is what they were supposed to be doing all along. Their spending is what brings new money in to the economy, which allows us to save. There has to be an influx of money every single year to match the savings desires of our nation. And, there's no need to pay off the debt. The federal debt is the private sector assets. We definitely don't want to get rid of all of our assets. So learn MMT, root for Bernie, vote for Bernie, make sure you're registered to vote, and double check that you are registered as a Democrat in your state so that you can vote in the primary. Have a good night.